Hey folks, it's Dennis Weeb here again. We're back chatting about the property I purchased in West Broadway, the 4-unit building. And just wanted to chat a little bit about insurance as well. Just because it's like every step along the way, there is potential pitfalls, there's difficulties that you're gonna face. And we're going through things that we really did face on this one. So in this case, it was an issue with insurance. I have a few properties and we have a blanket policy to cover all of the properties. And you end up saving a few dollars if you can do that because you get the basic insurance, but on my rentals, I'll always have a liability component which covers, it spans all of the properties together. So you're not getting that liability component on each individual policy. Well, in this case, the insurer that I use for that blanket policy said no about this one. So it was kind of shocking, and it kind of made me realize that it can be difficult getting insurance depending on what has been happening in that particular neighborhood and what the insurance companies view that neighborhood as. So after chatting with my insurance broker, found out that in West Broadway, there's actually been quite a few fires in the last year, and insurance companies have paid out more than they've actually brought in. So they've all got a little bit of a red flag on that neighborhood. Now, the interesting thing is West Broadway is transitioning in a major way to becoming almost a little like Wolseley, that next hipster neighborhood. So it's definitely going up, as I've said in a previous video, but the fires, believe it or not, are actually helping it to transition faster. You know, I can't control that. I can't control what insurance companies think of it, but it was definitely something to consider. And I realized after, I probably should have put a condition in my offer to purchase to ensure that I could get insurance. And I think this is something that real estate agents don't really look at. They don't think about unless they're in sort of a known bad neighborhood. Well, West Broadway is not really a known bad neighborhood. It's actually a pretty good neighborhood, but just because of the recent history, insurance companies are a little nervous about it. So my suggestion would be, again, if you're going to use me as a real estate agent, definitely I'm going to be putting in that kind of a condition for you. 2, if you're not going to use me, make sure that you're informing your real estate agent to put in a condition to make sure that you can get insurance. So that if something turns out that maybe you can get insurance, but it's super expensive, because this was more expensive than my typical policy, but the numbers still made sense for me to carry forward. So my monthly still had a cash flow. I was okay with it. So we carried on with the deal. Because that could be an issue if the insurance costs get so great that it actually chews up all of your profit, that it actually puts you into a negative cash flow. Then why would you do the deal? But if you don't have that condition in place, you don't have the flexibility. Number 2 point here, make sure that you've got an insurance person who actually understands what you're trying to accomplish with real estate investing. Again, like I said, I've got a policy that spans multiple properties, and I just continue to add them in there. And this was an anomaly just because of the circumstance. Well, my insurance guy doing things like pointing out, hey, you can get this, and valuable things like insuring the rents. Don't cheap out on insurance, making sure you get replacement cost. Because if there is a fire or a partial loss, you want to ensure that you're covered. I actually had a client purchased a property and had a fire there within the first month, and they didn't cheap out on insurance. So they're actually getting a brand new building. All of their rents were insured during that loss time. So they didn't have any concerns because the mortgage was paid, the insurance is paid, the property taxes are paid, and they're actually cash flowing while they were going through the process with the insurance company. If you cheap out and just do a cash value, you're going to have problems. So just some tips on insurance, and again, make sure that you've got a solid guy who understands what's going on in the insurance industry and can actually give you solid tips on what to do. don't just think any home insurance guy can look after you, because this is very, very different than just buying a single family home and getting basic insurance on it. Okay, so those are my tips for this week and what we went through on our property. But we'll be back chatting about further. I think the next time we'll probably do a bit of a tour of the building, and you guys can see the work that I need to accomplish. All right, so I'll see you next time, and happy investing.